underground military bases. Here we go.
Why you are laughing?
Tell them to shut up.
Yeah, tell them to shut up.
Perv alert.
Okay. So I was doing a lot of research. There's a lot of information about deep underground military bases, but a lot of it is conjecture. A lot of it is just theories. There's very little concrete evidence. So I'm going to write down some of my thoughts that, I wrote down some of my thoughts about this, and it was, it gets pretty out there. It starts off pretty lucid, and then it quickly spirals out of control. So, as we've talked about before, the military and the CIA ran a remote viewing program back in the 70s and 80s. I think it was called Project Stargate. And there was a person, a remote viewer, Lieutenant Atwater, and there's also another person, Pat Price, and they decided to do some remote viewing to see if there were any military secrets or underground bases that they could observe. And they did observe military bases underneath the ground. And this is what they found out. They personally found 4 different bigger underground military bases. The first one is in the Pyrenees Mountains. So it's in the mountain range, it's underneath the mountains. It's said to have a 2-mile wide perimeter, and it contains crafts, UFOs, or some kind of craft that use electromagnetic field propulsion systems. I don't know how they picked this up or how they realized that with their remote viewing, but that's what they're claiming. And this is in the Pyrenees. And I think we actually read a story not too long ago about the wild man of the Pyrenees. Jeff, do you remember that one?
Yes, yeah.
So
I was just looking that up because, I mean, a lot of these military bases, there's apparently sightings of these kind of...
weird cryptoids. Yeah. Some weird cryptoids always happening, and reports around these military bases. So we have the wild man of the Pyrenees, and we have a report of a deep underground military base in the Pyrenees Mountains. This is on Mount Perdido. Mount Perdido.
Oh, yeah.
You know about that one, Joe?
You're good skiing, right?
Yeah, great skiing. You can go snowboarding with the wild man of the Pyrenees.
Uh-huh. And then check out the military base.
Yeah, absolutely. The second base, I believe it's in Africa. Let me type this into the chat, so you guys could look this up while I'm talking about this. If I can find my goddamn Skype.
Yeah, where does it go?
So here it is. Can you pronounce this? I can't read it. There it is. Mount Inyagan.
Mount Inyangang.
Mount Inyangang. I think I'm gonna guess that it's in Africa.
It is.
Yes. Fuck yeah, it's in Africa.
Asian. Sure.
Fuck yeah, it's in Africa, bro. Yay! Now, when they remote viewed this one, it's said to be a maintenance and tech center.
I think he misspelled that. It looks like it's Mount Nyangani.
Okay. Maybe I did write down the notes incorrectly, which is probably very plausible since I can't spell or read.
Zimbabwe.
Oh, it's in Zimbabwe? Well, apparently there's a deep underground military base there, and it's used for maintenance and technology, a tech center. It's also, according to these remote viewers, it has equipment to ionize a layer of the atmosphere.
It's in the Rhodes Inyanga National Park.
Okay.
Part of Rhodesia. So, yeah. So you got the parks right. It's just, I think it's called Mount Nyangani or something.
Yeah, and so that's the second deep underground military base. It's a maintenance tech center, and it has, atmospheric modification equipment there. And then we have, I think, Mount Haines in Alaska. I think that's what it is. I want to make double sure that that's what it's called. Mount Haines.
If you look at it in Google Maps, which is interesting, It's in a darkened panel. It's like the shot was taken almost at like dusk.
Oh, really?
Because if you go one panel over, you can see the rest of the park in broad daylight. That's kind of odd.
So, I'm sorry. This third military base is Mount Hayes, which is in Alaska, and it's reported to be either the HARP station or below the HARP station. And they said this is a monitoring station. This base has a good number of personnel, and they said deployable personnel. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I can guess that if there's personnel there, these personnel can be deployed across the globe.
Sounds like XCOM.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like XCOM UFO defense. And the responsibility of these people, what they're tasked to do, is to infiltrate all levels of government to stop political action being taken that could cause disclosure or discovery of these military bases. So these people infiltrate, subvert any action that would have them be revealed, which is one of those theories that we've always talked about, and a lot of people talk about when it comes to the UFO phenomenon, that if UFOs and aliens exist, and why can't they just infiltrate our government? If they're so powerful and they kind of look like us, why wouldn't they be running the government at this point? And according to this remote viewer, well, they do have people in positions of power. Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You have a truck driver talking about D.U.M.B?
That's what we're talking about, right? The D.U.M.B?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember this video from years ago, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll play that. Let me talk about the 4th military base, according to these remote viewers, of course. And where is it? Did I rip it out of my? No, I didn't. I'm actually using pen and paper to write my notes down, guys.
I get all my news from remote viewing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I remember.
And the 4th military base here is Mount Zeal in Australia. This has the most personnel. This base is used for rest and relaxation. And this is the human introduction point. I guess they kind of go into it a little bit, saying that once you're brought into the program, you're sent here first. This is like maybe the embassy. This is where you go to really get introduced to the whole big plan. It's kind of like when Roddy Piper was taken down below in the movie They Live and kind of shown the facility. That was the introduction point. I guess this base in Australia, that's what it's used for. Very crazy shit.
What was the name of that base that was in Spain in the Pyrenees, or the mountain it was by? Because all these bases we've looked up since then, they're in national parks. Okay.
I'll type it into the chat here.
Oh man, it goes back to the missing 411.
Oh, I think yeah.
You think this can be tied to missing 411?
They've all been in national parks. Every single one I've been looking up on Google.
Okay.
It's sucking them down.
Sucking them down. Bigfoot sightings there, and they're people are disappearing, and they don't talk about it. I wonder why.
False
and
facts.
Shit, the Spanish one is in looks like Parac National, it's in Spanish, but it's a national park in Spain.
Wow.
Balls.
I agree, Alex. Balls.
Wow, that's curious.
Mary.
One in Australia, national park. One in Alaska, national park.
Okay.
Where's the other one? Crap. Well,
interesting. Well,
it was in green on the map, so it's a national park. So,
well, I think I didn't even think about that angle, but that's pretty interesting. And
it's federal property, which will give credence to the theory that there could actually be a federal military base there.
Hence why maybe military has been deployed
there, because they were already there.
Yeah, they weren't really deployed. They were just
They just came out.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out.
Interesting. I hadn't considered that angle, but there it is. Good find. Let's play this truck driver talking about the deep underground military bases. Do you stand by this?
Let's see.
Here it is. It's a little windy.
Yeah.
It's a little windy out there. Okay, this cameraman's going up to the truck drivers, and he's taking footage of what looks to be an underground tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
See, huh? Goes all the way to Washington, D.C. Yeah, you Homeland Security? Yeah. How far have you taken this down to, how far have you actually ran a load? 100 miles? Up to Maine? No shit. How many miles do you think that is? Man, that's unbelievable. Not to mention, I heard there's one that goes all...
I don't know where they're filming this at, but from what I heard him say is that underground tunnel, there's a big, 18-wheeler going into a tunnel, and this truck driver is saying that, I think he said almost 1,500 miles. That's what he drove in these tunnels. Underground.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts.
That's insane.
Way to Colorado, right? Unbelievable. What do you think you're hauling? Any idea? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Craft makes all kinds of stuff.
He said, what do you think you're hauling? He said, Kraft. Kraft makes all kinds of stuff. So he's hauling something for Kraft.
Kraft makes food.
They make a lot of different stuff.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, they certainly do make mac and cheese,
with
Joe.
Heinz now. They make tons of shit.
You got to have your mac and cheese, that's for sure. This is a very curious clip. I'm going to continue with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's been a lot of military stuff being hauled around lately, that's for sure, huh?
Yeah, we deliver to military.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I heard there's water supply, food supply, everything's in there. Yeah, unbelievable.
Okay, very interesting shit. I don't know if this is the exact underground tunnel system, which is referenced by some other reports, but it's pretty damn close. If this guy is to be believed that he actually is driving underneath the earth in large tunnels for 1,500 miles. Why wouldn't you just do that above ground using the internet or the interstate highway system? I don't know.
What's so much cooler to do it underground?
I guess so. Not unless it's that much quicker. But there's also reports of a high-speed rail system that connects all these underground bases that have been removed of all air, so there's no wind resistance, so these things can go super fast, and there's electromagnetic trains that just kind of float above the tracks a little bit, the kind of trains they have in every other modern country besides America.
Well, they have them, they're underground.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, we got them. So what's that other clip you sent over, Joe?
It's another trucker one. I don't remember this video. I don't think I've watched it, but
let's pop it up. I'm curious. Oh, nice. Cool intro.
Oh, yeah. It starts at 250. Go to 250. It should have got you there.
250? Okay.
I think so. Is that if it's the one?
Yeah, so it is footage of a trucker driving up to a large stone structure, a wall, and it's a very, very large entrance.
It looks like it might be the same place this guy was. I'm not sure, though.
It's hard to tell.
It's got that blue sign. I think if that's the same sign. I'm not sure.
I like the creepy music. Again, here, every video has to have creepy music if it's about paranormal conspiracy stuff.
It does, yeah.
And this guy is driving into this tunnel, and it looks quite expansive. It's fucking large.
The car coming out of it.
It's just fucking huge.
What car it is?
But there's other cars in here. There's stop signs. There's stop signs in this tunnel, and a lot of tractor trailers. A ton.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? What in the hell is
this? Is fucking huge.
So yeah, it's a huge cavernous looking thing, but it's been well constructed. I see a lot of concrete, lots of lights. It's well lit.
It doesn't look like there's any bases outside of it. Like there's no like check. I don't see any checkpoints. I don't see any guards standing outside.
We should put one of these on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So
maybe somebody knows something about this. Maybe this is totally benign. I don't know. But it's.
I would like to think that it's some benign, municipal planning, or maybe it's. I don't know. I mean, it does. There's something nefarious about it, like the fact that you don't see a 2020 episode on this.
Yeah, and the fact that it probably, required billions of dollars to construct. I mean, that's that right there. Some fun stuff.
I'd love to have an underground base.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Have a nice bunker for yourself.
Yeah.
Bunkers are big now. I mean, we read reports last year about how the rich are buying these old missile silos and putting condos in there.
I love that idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleeping next to a missile.
Yes.
I don't think the missiles are there anymore.
Yeah, they're not there anymore, Joe.
Damn it.
So
to not included.
To wrap up this the crazy deep underground military base. So I talked about the remote viewing people who reported on 4 military bases. Well, there is another article that I read that says that there's over 1,500 deep underground military bases all over the world, with 30 of them right here in the United States. Which kind of makes more sense. If you're going to build a large underground tunnel system, you probably want more than 4. That would make more sense. And it says that this is where it starts to go off the rails, and just it's talking about deep underground military bases. Now it goes into talking about depopulation. And I'll read this. So all patriots who are willing to resist the new order should realize that the globalists who have submitted are not the only problem. Maybe we have sold the rest of us out thinking that we will survive and not be enslaved as the remaining. What if by 2029 the global population is to be massively reduced and the remaining subjects enslaved and hauled off to underground slave labor factories to serve the global elite? What if the SDI project is in reality a weapon system to ward off unwanted guests? The SDI is the, I guess, Star Wars Defense Initiative. Maybe
it's Strategic Defense Initiative.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Strategic Defense Initiative.
That is Star Wars that you're talking about.
Yeah. Maybe all countries were fighting secretly a global war against strangers once they realized in the late 70s that their true intentions were evil beyond belief. What if society can't handle the truth? What if Eisenhower decided that the secret would prevent mass panic and decay into total anarchy? That's why Eisenhower didn't release this information. This goes into all these what ifs. And the last one is, what if over 8 million humans have literally been devoured by residents of these bases? The majority nourishing themselves with human glandular secretions.
I love it.
That would give credence to the missing 401 theory in these bases in the national parks and people going missing there and the government being like, oh, I don't know.
Yep. It's Dick Cheney eating 7-year-old kids' hearts.
Someone's gallbladder.
National park, yeah.
Well, I guess we'd have to ask the missing 401, are there any glandular secretions missing? Are these people from the missing 401 cases missing any glands?
At least as far as I read in his books, he doesn't go for autopsies. So a lot of the times they just find like skull fragments in like their pants.
Well, I contacted.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, skull fragments in the pants, man. Nice. You talking about a boner?
Don't knock it till you try it.
Boner.
A little bit of balls.
Yeah.
I contacted the news organization who did the missing 411 report with that voicemail, that creepy voicemail we listened to a couple episodes ago. Because people on the YouTube, our YouTube page, when we posted that video, there's like, they have some pretty cool theories. Like one guy is just like saying that it sounds like a taser. It sounds like these guys are being tased. And it's like, okay, it could be a taser, but that could explain some weird noises and maybe why the people are incapacitated and thrown into the lake, but it doesn't explain the high levels of GHB in these victims' bodies.
That and a taser only lasts as long as you're holding down the button.
Yeah.
If you were thrown in a lake and the taser wasn't engaged, you can just swim right out.
At least it's a theory, you know. But then you're going to have to decide who is actually doing the tasering.
Yeah, why would they be doing it?
So I contacted a news organization talking about the voicemail, and I asked for them to send me the voice recording of that 9/11 or that of that voicemail. Hopefully, I'll get the full thing because we didn't. When they played on the news report, they don't play it up until the end. We don't hear the part at the end where they claim the person's yelling "Stop it!" And
and they're talking over the clip the entire time.
Yeah, it's BS. It's bullshit.
Fuckers.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't take no orders from no women.
Yep, I don't do that.
Goddamn right, Dino.
Yeah. So that's all I got on the deep underground military bases. Joe, you got anything else?
No, I think the truckers are all I got.
Okay. I like the trucker shit.
Truckers are great.
Got to trust the truckers.
Lifeblood of America.
Yeah.
The whistles got